Running into the curriculum. So for that, I would like to welcome Dr. M.V.V. Prasada, sir, Educationist and Advisor Schools, Retired Director, CBSE, as a session moderator for our second panel. I would like to welcome you, sir, Dr. M.V.V. Prasada Garu, on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let us all welcome him. Welcome, sir. Please be seated. Srimati Rajini Chitra, Ma'am, Director, Academics, the Intelli School, Vizag, Pollocks School, Visakhapatnam. I would like to welcome you on dais, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let us all welcome the dynamic lady Rajini, ma'am. Welcome. And now I welcome Mohammad, Omer, sir, Chairman, New Era International School, Hyderabad. Please be seated, ma'am. Please be seated, sir. And I welcome Komati Gopal, Reddy, State Advisor, TRSMA, Chairman, Lotus Lab Public Schools, Hyderabad. Franki Vijayawada. Welcome, sir. Please be seated. Dr. Achna Rai, Director, Academic, Sri Veda University School, Hyderabad. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to our session moderator, please, sir.
And we had a very fruitful discussion so far. And I do welcome to this particular session, where a very important topic has been given to us for deliberations. That is the social and emotional resilience and how to integrate this SEL into the curriculum. That's the topic that we are going to talk now. And I congratulate Chandan Anand and his team for providing a platform like this for the benefit of the society. And really, this topic is going to be the most important one, especially for the schools. And I do invite all my panel members, those who are present here from various institutions from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And we do talk about this social emotional resilience. We are talking about now again. Actually, this was there earlier when we look into the traditional way of teaching. It was there long before when Rabindranath Tagore used to teach the children in the mango groves. It was nothing new to anybody on this particular issue. But again, we are talking about it because in between, a lot of changes have taken place and people have forgotten about the social and emotional aspects. People are busy in transacting the given curriculum in the classroom, and depending upon the huge percentage that the children are getting, and more especially the parents are very, very much interested in getting more marks to their children rather than developing their own personality, and rather than looking at the social issues, the responsibilities that the child is supposed to shoulder, and also the emotional aspects. This is happening for quite a long time. The technology has grown a lot, but technology cannot be a substitute. I keep on saying all the time that a teacher teaching in the classroom, that means an emotional being teaching the emotional being. That's very important. Whatever the technology says that somewhere else 4 kilometers or 8 kilometers or 100 kilometers away, keeping a teacher and putting a board in the name of this smart classroom and making it for the benefit of the children in the classroom. From the far off, the children are learning. That's not the actual classroom. The actual classroom must be with the teacher, who is an emotional being, dealing with the emotional beings. And Manjula was very aptly, she has explained at length what kind of, this is all relating to the emotion only. She was talking at length about the various aspects that have taken place, that are being taken place for quite a long time, whether noticed or unnoticed, but pretending to be unnoticed by the parents and the society, especially because of the taboo. Nobody talks about these issues. That's why the reason lots of problems are cropping in. And the expectations from the children are not being meted out. Because parents and the teachers together only can bring some change in the child. The emotional and the social aspects of the child, of the parents at home, emotional and social aspects of the teacher at the institution, in the school, are very, very important. There must be an integration of a child and the parent and the teacher, the triangular learning. Then only it is possible for this so-called SEL, social emotional learning. Then coming to the integration, no need to integrate this into the curriculum. Curriculum is designed in such an aspect that the child's knowledge in the limited period, in the limited subject is tested. So that's why we cannot put everything into the curriculum and ask the teacher to teach in the classroom. Certain things happen out of the classroom, at home, and during the course of their interaction, because learning is a continuous process. It is a spontaneous process as well. And that's why whenever the teacher teaches the curriculum today, they concentrate more on the completion of the syllabus, forgetting about what are the parameters that the teacher is supposed to look into beyond the curriculum. Nobody wants to go beyond the curriculum. This is the biggest problem that we are facing today. Child also has feelings. You have to understand them. And a child will listen to you, but this should happen at the very primary age. When the child comes to the college level and while the child comes to the university level, if you ask the child to do whatever that you want, it's not possible. When we say in Telugu, we have a proverb that mokkai vonganide, manai vonguna. So we need to nurture the child right from the beginning, and whatever the social aspects, the feelings, hatred, jealousy, anger, fear, shyness, love, affection, all these are relating to the social and emotional setup. Can we teach these to the children? Is a big question. It's a matter of debate rather. Whether these feelings can be affected or taught in the classroom on par with the curriculum, whether it is possible for the teacher to teach these things. Earlier, it was not a nuclear family. Parents, grandparents used to be there. If the parents, even they are not able to take care of the child round the clock, the grandparents used to take them and they used to tell some moral stories during the night time. Today, we don't have that system because of the changing lifestyles. A lot of changes have come. The interference of the mass media, degradation of the values and morals, and the time constraints, and man's selfishness, all these have cropped in. Along with the development of this technology, we have also developed these things simultaneously. And the result is that we almost concentrate nil on the social aspects and the emotional aspects of the child. We are always interested in getting 90% of the marks or 95% of the marks, and unfortunately, parents are also very much conscious about getting percentage to their children, forgetting about the personality of the child. This is the problem that we are facing today, and it's a very, very important topic that has been given. And this concept note has been circulated to all my panelists earlier. The questions also have been given to them, and I'm hopeful that they have come out with a lot of ideas on these issues to discuss today and arrive at some kind of conclusion which will be benefited for the schools as well as the society, and ultimately for the child who can shoulder the responsibility of this nation. So thank you very much, and let me start this program with my panelists. So thank you. So with this brief introduction, I would be happy if somebody reacts to this resilience. How best can we take this into the curriculum, or how can we teach? Anyone who is interested can please.
Very good afternoon, and a warm greetings from Hebron Mission School, Ichapuram. And I'm very glad and happy to be here with all of you to share a few thoughts on the topics that is given to us to discuss on. And also I wanted to congratulate and bring blessings and wishes of ArdorComm for their third anniversary. And also wanted to congratulate for the topics that you have selected. And the first first panel were sharing on AI, and the second topic which is brought, it was wonderful to compete it with the first panels, which were they talk more on ethics. And ethics and emotions play a big role in a child life. And when I am talking about Ichapuram, I should not forget to remember ma'am, and it is a blessing that I am there in the place where she is grown up. She was raised in the place, the same campus my school is situated, and I'm very glad to the family for helping us and to develop such a good school in Ichapuram. Okay, let's go to the topic which is given. See, already Sir already told that there is no need of integrating again. But the question is asked, how we can go ahead with SEL in a curriculum where we should not tamper our academic. I just wanted to give some examples or some points to talk about it. Now we are talking about social studies. We are talking about history. We are teaching to them. We have a lot of topics where emotions also can be transferred to our children. For example, how to teach them respect. There we need to learn what is respect. We need to teach to them. Now, to bring an example of what happened here in this morning, we had our national anthem, and most of us were standing respecting as a it's not as a protocol, but as we respect our nation, we respect our national anthem. And I don't know why I bring this topic here, maybe because I raised it and studied from Kerala, and we are turned in that way. When national anthems are sang, nobody allowed to move. So it gives me a respect to the nation. But what I found is, where I wanted my listener to correct it, some of them were taking photos. That may be their profession. I understand it's their profession. But maybe in the future, we need to respect. So teaching that one. Yesterday, we had a lot of preparation for yesterday's Children's Day program. And my principal was so late to have her lunch. And she was sitting and she was having her lunch by 3:30, and the national anthem was played. I saw she was standing on her feet. So it is a respect. She also raised from Kerala. Okay. So what I want to tell you is that respect emotions can be taught in the class. And we are talking about our martyrs. So all India, today we are in our freedom, enjoying our freedom. How? It's not just come in. Many people sacrificed. We have a lot of martyrs. When we are talking about them, when we are talking about the incident that happened, particularly takes Jallianwala Bagh. What an best emotion that we can teach to the students. So no need of an extra curriculum that need to be added into the existing academic curriculum. We have a lot of topic to talk. Respect, love. As sir was telling, we had a big families. A father had children, they all stayed together. All the brothers and sisters stayed together as a joint family. Now, it's becoming a nucleus family. Husband and wife and 2 children. Now again, in the next generation, it is going to be a single person who is going to live in a house. How do they learn love, care, support? There we need to teach them from our school. As sir was telling, the parents also have a lot of role in that one. Still I agree, yes, they also have a role. But the children are more with us. Most of their times are spent in the school, where they may not be educated of teaching their children what is emotion, what is social emotion, learnings. But we have a responsibility to do that one as a committed teacher, as a committed person who is into educational field. And we will do it. I believe we will do that one.
Well, thank you very much. It's a fact that this social emotional learning has to be taught in the classroom, no doubt about it. But at the same time, as he has said, certain examples, if the teacher behaves like a role model, the children learn through the behavior of the teacher, through the attitude of the teacher, and through the personality of the teacher, maybe inside the classroom or outside the classroom. These values, more especially the social values and the emotional values, can be taught. It all depends upon the behavior of the teacher. That's why I always used to say A, B, C, D are very important in life. In an alphabet, A, B, C, D, first A, B, C, D are important. A stands for attitude, B stands for behavior, C stands for character, and D stands for discipline. If these 4 are taken care of by the teacher, not necessarily consciously, even unconsciously, the teacher behaves like a role model, especially as long as he or she is in the school situation. And I think that automatically the child will learn. All of you may agree with me that the learning is imitation, more especially at the primary age. Children learn through imitation. Children learn many things from the teacher, either consciously or unconsciously. Not necessarily that you have to teach from the curriculum or from the textbook. The way that the teacher behaves in the classroom is a point of learning. That the way the teacher expresses in the classroom is a point of learning. So all these aspects, if the teachers can amalgamate and check themselves, these aspects, whether they are following, and automatically these will be transferred into the child's mind. And that is one of the most important things that we can think about. And secondly, that we can also discuss on what are the most effective strategies for fostering emotional resilience in students, emotional well-being, and academic performance. These are all we are talking about without reducing the standard of the academics. The social emotional learning should not be a substitute for the curriculum. It is only a supportive system for the curriculum. Curriculum must be taught in the classroom. Examination pattern has to go. Students must compete. But at the same time, how best can we plan, what strategies can a teacher adopt inside the classroom or outside the classroom, or even discussing with the parents at home. The parents also can play a very vital role in integrating these values and igniting the child's mind at home. So what are the strategies that we can make is also another question that we have raised. And I think Madam can, please.
Good. I'm Rajini Chitra andi. I'm from social emotional learning, new terminologies and all. I've been probably part of the education community for the last 25 years. So over a period of time, one most important aspect I realized is we get lost in terminologies. Everybody means a different thing when we say the same word. So stripping all of that, if I have to put it in a simple way of my understanding is, a child being at absolute ease socially and emotionally is what we are trying to put it out there. So as an educators, what are the best practices we could do? We are all educators in this room. One of the toughest thing we find is listening to another person. I know that. And we are preachers more than that. So I'll cut down all that and I'll try to come to the point. Yes, there is a need for that. The discussion had happened the last few hours to understand how big is that issue when it comes to social and emotionally child being stable. And personally, we interact with the students, and I have noticed a drastic shift in the last 2-3 years. I think pandemic not only accelerated it, triggered it, quite a bit of it. It's a drastic shift. It was not a gradual change. And number of issues that we kind of face are very strong anger issues and suppressed anger, passive aggression. These are just, I can go on with the terminologies of it, but you all know, but very dark thoughts with the kids. And this is my personal interaction. This is not something like I'm talking about the statistics that says 1 child in every 5 in India are having anxiety disorders and having dark thoughts. These are statistics. But what I'm saying is, just I think 2-3 days back, it was a 10th standard meeting, and you could see that the child was really shaken. I mean, we can simplify it and talk about the terminologies and tell him you should do this, but you could see that she's actually suffering with it, and she's at a verge of a very serious issue. So that probably needs an attention and how it can be done. But as a school, what we can do, as an educators, what we can do, I feel is, first is the first initiative is having a discussion about it. I think that started out here in Vizag, addressing that issue and discussing in panels like that, because we need to be more educated also about what is happening. Second thing I have seen it is, curriculum is going on, yes, but this has to be incorporated, added in whichever level it is. Whole ecosystem should address social and emotional need. We have done that. It is not a very, these are few of the things that are done and we plan to do, or I have picked it up from somewhere. I would directly go into the best practices, and there is no sense of ownership, oh, we are doing it. I'm just going to say that these are picked up from other schools and meeting other educators and seeing it, not just there. A lot of these gurus who've been preaching about how, because this is something inside out, you can't would you agree with me that you can't teach it like social and science? Social and emotional stability cannot be taught. It has to be inside out. It needs an ecosystem where parents are part of it, and we should have most, as he has said, educators also little stable in these two areas to be able to impart. We have this thing called Ashtachal, we named it something. It's a glorified circle time for senior students where they sit out and talk. For example, we are having a sports day, and after the sports day is done, they sit down in their own classes and discuss how they felt about somebody's winning and losing. And we have moderators who kind of encourage them to express, I felt really jealous when she got it over than me. So we made that kind of acceptability of expression, and there is also some students who won't express. We made them write it down, and when we read through it and we know when we go through it there is a student who really needs a kind of a help, we address it. There is also a day we say it's okay day, where there are some number of things kids are not able to, because there is a big gap between who we are. As she said, we are digital immigrants and they are natives, so there's a lot of gap in between. So they think that we don't understand them, and that makes them very alone. So we have this day where it says it's okay day, where they get to express and bring it out. They think they are exclusively experiencing it. When they put it out there, there are a number of activities on that day where we address the issues like bullying to a lot of things which are the byproducts of social and emotional instability. And experts, yes, you need a lot of experts help, but there is a small experience that I have is most of the experts who come and speak are really not able to relate to the kids because they are all diploma holders. They don't have a hands-down experience, and I have seen many times the damage is more. So please be conscious of who you're bringing as an experts in addressing their issues. The counselors I'm talking about, the counselors we engage, the clinical counselors, and we have small practices like a silence period. You can't make the kids sit for some time for silent. We have this music that is played and everybody sits for them. I've read through so many books and I found out this is effective, and somehow there is a lot of result. I can't tell what is the science behind it, but 10 minutes of a silence every day by the children has brought a drastic difference in their whole attitude. I'm all talking about number of these best practices that are being done to be sharing it out. There are some apps which help the kids too. There are certain apps which help in the social and emotional learning. I think as a school, if we can engage, they are free apps. You don't have to buy them. You don't have somebody selling it to you. You please go through it, and if you can make it an activity based, that's going to be amazing. I think there are powerful concepts as gratitude that can be taken up in the classes on every special day. For example, probably today is Guru Nanak Jayanti. You want to celebrate it. You read something about his life story, as he said, like how you bring about social Jallianwala Bagh. But every day when we celebrate something, learning to know, learning to do, and learning to apply, we are all doing it. The last aspect of learning to be. If you ask this question, how you are going to take this, I think that can bring about, and nothing beats our cultural wisdom. If we can hold on to many of our cultural aspects of who we are, the exclusivity that children are feeling, which is aggravated by us, you are unique, you are special, you are wonderful, is also resulting in them being alone. They are feeling, they constantly are striving for that. If this has to be a little bit of generalized, you need to bring about our cultural wisdom, which always made all of us Vasudaivaka Kutumbakam. It has begun a big part of a bigger thread. These kind of things have been taken up. We have taken up activities relating to it, and this helps. And last but not the least, I think social emotional learning is not just in the classroom. It should be in the sports, in the physical activities, or in everything that is involving them exposing themselves to the elements. I don't know how this is, but if you notice the people who are exposed to a lot of greenery and sunlight probably from people from our villages, they don't have as many issues as the urban societies. This is a proven fact, this is not by me. So if we can make, because somewhere in the AC classrooms or anything like that, we are taking them so much away from the elements. There are not many kids who are ready to go into the sunlight, if you notice it. After the 8th grade, they are like, faint in the assembly only. That is happening with us. If we can improve this, that actually helps them being tougher inside out. Finally, I like to say is, we have both state and CBSE and Cambridge board schools. Initially, 10-15 years ago, personally I've seen that this kind of a counseling or this kind of emotional issues were only there in the other schools. But the last 3 years, a drastic shift is there when it comes to my state schools, which is falling under the middle class and all. Very dark thoughts and very aggressive behavior has been noticed, which generally, I mean, like, first world problems are not today, but it has seeped into every fabric, and there the curriculum doesn't address it. CBSE has addressed it, and probably, and actually IB boards and all have SEL part of their, but state syllabus doesn't have. In fact, sir, when I met Lokesh Garu, we industry heads, we did, and I'm happy, I'm not promoting a government or a person here, but would you believe when we send these things that, we are facing a lot of social and emotional issues of the students to him, he responds back. I mean, he gives his WhatsApp number and you send a message to him, he responds back. So I'm very positive about the aspect that, they are doing a lot of overhaul in the education system. So if you, from your behalf also, send some recommendations, all of us, to the present government, they would be able to incorporate it and bring it down at the state level. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the very purpose of sitting over here is just to deliberate and bring out some kind of materials which will be implementable very easily, and so that to pass on to the appropriate bodies who can take action at a later stage. And now, the best practices, when you say best practices, I have my own point of view on best practices. The best practices that you follow not necessarily be the best practices for others. Why? Because you have different kind of children, different backgrounds, different situations, different parents, different mentalities, different psychological aspects, different managements, and so on. So my point here is that best practices only can be studied, and how best can we implement it depending upon our own situation is your own job. So simply you cannot just take these best practices and implement directly in the situation where you are. And this is what my experience says. Secondly, the parenting, Manjula was also talking about the parenting, and she has written a very good book also. This parenting has become a big question today. Who is the parent of the child? The parents say, we are not responsible, the school is responsible because we are paying fee to the school, and the school has to take the responsibility of my child. And the school says, the child is with us only for a few hours, and therefore we are not totally responsible, and the parents are the responsible for the development of the child. And this kind of dilemma is still prevailing in the society today. Nobody wants to own the child. That's the big problem. Secondly, creation of an environment, a congenial environment for learning is very important. Creation of environment for learning doesn't mean that inside the classroom. Creation of environment at home also. Suppose I tell you a small example. If the parent is a politician, hundreds of people come to him and he shouts at him and he does all kinds of things, whatever he does, the child will be very silently watching everything. And imbibe these qualities into him, and his character becomes just like this. That is the biggest problem. The parents do not realize these things. So the parental behavior at home, their expression towards the child with regard to the love, affection, the jealousy, hatred, selfishness. These are all the elements that we cannot separate from the human beings. But how to control them is a big question before us. To control them, the best strategy is develop a very good environment at home, and the behavioral aspects and the attitudinal aspects of both the parents. It's not it's not that mother is only responsible. Father is also equally responsible. If both of them join hands together and collectively take the responsibility of the child in imbibing some kind of qualities. In case, I have seen a lot of cases. If both wife and husband quarrels, that impact is there on the mind of the child. I have seen. Child mind will be disturbed, and child becomes negative in his attitude and behaves oddly in the society. So these are the points where maybe these are all very, very small and simple points, but these are all very important. That the parents at home, when they behave before the children, they have to be very conscious, if at all they are interested in the personality development of the child. At the same time, the same thing applies to the school as well. The teacher in the classroom asks a question. If the child doesn't answer, you bloody fellow, you don't know, sit down. That is the end of it. The child will never react to you, even if he knows the answer next time. So the way of dealing in a euphemistic way is also one of the qualities that the teachers have to develop. The teacher can say, you bloody fellow, get out of the class. He can say, would you please go out, I'll talk to you later on. There is a lot of difference, but in saying there's a lot of difference, but the meaning is same. You want the child to send outside. Instead of saying, get out, you can also say very euphemistically, please go out. It makes a lot of difference.
Sir, just to add on that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have both the parents working. Mother and father, both of them are working.
Yeah.
At the end, it is that we work for our kids. But at the end, we don't have time for our kids. When we meet up in a parents-teacher meeting with the parents clearly come and tell us that, ma'am, we don't have time at home. We start at 7 in the morning. I'm actually from Hyderabad. So we start 7 in the morning. By the time we reach our office, it's by 9 or something. Again, by the time we come, it's very tired. So we want the child to complete all the homeworks, all the activities in the school itself. The child doesn't listen anything at home.
Yeah. So
if you have to complain regarding
yes,
social media.
I understand your problem. This is the problem relating to majority of the people. Because if both in Delhi, especially in metropolitan cities, I'm telling you the real examples, if both of them, both the father and mother do not work, they cannot make both ends meet. It's very difficult to lead their life. So it is a must. And therefore, when they go out, in Delhi what happens, after 2 o'clock there won't be any schools. After 2 o'clock they are free. When they come to home after 2 o'clock, they don't know what to do. And lot of unwanted things happened. I'm not saying this. Times of India reported it through research. The problem is, you have raised that issue, very nice. There is no problem, both wife and husband can go, but it doesn't mean you have to neglect the child totally. At least if you have 10 hours of time with you, you can make use of it in a fruitful way. And you say that I am going out for job, and he says that I am going out for job, and child is not my responsibility. That is where we are committing the mistake. That is what I am saying. At least a Saturday and Sunday when you are at home, how much of love and affection you are showing to your children, you tell me, very frankly. Because you have been tuned going to work, and you will continue the same style of functioning even in holidays also. If you find something abnormality in your child, it is your responsibility. Apply for leave. Sit down with the child and try to bring the child onto the track first. Because after all, that is the asset that you are going to create ultimately. Money is not going to stay. The values, the education, and the preparation that you are giving to your child to become a useful citizen of this country is your asset.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
And therefore, yeah.
Sorry, sir. But who is going to take the responsibility to pass on the message regarding the emotional resilience building of the child? Are the teachers are going to talk about with the parents, or else
You
the
see-
parents has to take initiative? Being an educator, it's our responsibility that this topic has to reach each and every parent.
You see, you are
But,
running a school. Just a minute.
Sir,
You are
sir,
running a school.
sorry, sir.
You may be-
I'm waiting from last 40 minutes. I'm not interrupting, but sorry to say that.
No, no,
See,
no, no.
myself, Mohammad Omer from Hyderabad. I started my career as a part-time physical education teacher. And today I'm a chairman of Rose International School and Newer International School. I have worked more than 20 years
No, no, what do
as
you want
a
to say?
as a
What is your
teacher.
point actually? What is your point?
Just give me just
You
one
just tell
second,
me the
sir.
point.
One
Tell me the
second, sir.
point. Tell me
See,
the
until
point.
unless I won't speak
will
about
take
myself,
responsibility?
nobody knows about in this hall, and you also, sir. So just I want to talk about that. See, I have worked more than 40 nationalities educators and more than 25 countries.
No, who will take responsibility? Tell me with all your experience.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying,
tell.
sir. That's what I'm saying. Give
Yeah,
me
please.
just 1 minute
Please
time
tell.
to complete this. What I feel that I have worked in different countries. The best practices is Finnish. I like that German and Japanese practices, which I have seen. And I was there more than 9 years in Dubai in GEMS
No, that's
school.
Good, but you tell me who will take the responsibility.
That's what I'm telling you. Just give me started. I'm waiting from last 40 minutes. Please give me just 1 minute. Give me. Let me explain. What I have seen the difference between a CBSE Dubai and Singapore and Indian CBSE students. There are a lot of differences are there. Same. There is no difference. If you go to the CBSE or any corner of the world, or IGSC, anything, you take the mathematics, geometry. If I say this is a rectangle, is it in America, it's a square shape? Is it a circle? No, same. Wherever you go, the topic and education is the same. The way of methodology, the way they teach the methodology is different. And being an Indian, we have to accept that we Indians are not that good methodology we are following from last 33 years. And it has to be changed. That's what I'm waiting for NEP 2020. Manjula ma'am also is mentioned there. I'm glad to see that. I'm waiting eagerly because being in a NRI educator, my background is not academics, but my background is sports academy. Why I'm here today? Why I'm here today? Because of I have observed many other different activities which I have seen, and we used to involve parents weekly, twice and thrice, every day, somehow other activities we used to involve. When their parents were involved, you know what happened? They understand the importance of spending time with the children.
Okay,
Maybe
thank
it is
you.
the sports, maybe it is in the academics, maybe any other curriculum activities. But that's not happening in India. And I want to see only some of the good schools, international schools are doing that. But every school has to do that. Then only the changes will come. We have to accept, being an educators, we have to accept our methodology. Out of 183, we are standing, I guess today our rank is 129 or 132. I'm not exactly, but we are more than 100. We are not less than top 10. When we accept this, obviously, sir, what he said, I'm with him. But the parents are not at all bothered about their children. They pay fees and they think that, yes, our work is over. It's not our cup of tea. Sorry, you are the first parent, first teacher too. We are the second teacher and we are the second parent. And we,
Okay,
that's
thank
our
you,
responsibility, sir.
thank you, and we are running short of time. There are some other speakers also. Now, the next question is, what role can parents and broader community play in reinforcing social emotional learning outside the classroom? It's a very relevant question, it is. Can you be able to explain, or
Sure.
Madam wants to say? Yeah, anybody?
Good afternoon,
Outside the classroom.
panelists and everybody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity by this ArdorComm ArdorComm media. I am Chandrasekhar Rao from Krishnaveni, Vijayawada. With my experience, I feel that this social emotional skills development is the responsibility of teachers in this present day society. Some of you will accept or not. The reasons are many. As parents are working, they say that we don't have time, you have to take care of everything. And many occasions when teacher says, children will take it as granted, and that is the only way the children are learning. When mother is trying to correct the assignments or helping the child at home, something they point out a mistake. No, you don't know, mother. Only teacher is correct. Will you accept that or not? Many children says that you don't know, Amma. My teacher, what my teacher says is correct. That is the importance given by the child to the teacher. So a good teacher always not worry about the teaching, but always should worry about they are observing us. Child is always observing us. As our Prasada Garu said that they learn by imitation. They learn by observation. They learn by practice. They are all imitating. Imitation makes them to learn very well. That's why there is a saying that please involve the students in learning process, whether it's values or learn subjects or ethics. And two examples I will mention in this case. In Japan is the best education system in the world. First 6 years, they don't keep any examinations. They know books at all. They always give training in ethics, values, how to live in the society, how to be disciplined, how to respect nature, how to respect teachers, how to respect. First 6 years only this is being taught. No examination, no teaching at all in Japan. As a result of that, they all grow well. They respect the nature. They never hurt anyone. They don't abuse anybody. They don't develop any criminal mind. They live as great citizens of that country. That's one of the reasons that Japan is flourishing and Japan
I think
is
it's
number
called daycare. They call daycare till 8 years.
Yeah, daycare it is.
And they teach everything,
yeah.
kitchen items and all.
Two more points. That's value system is very important in India, but unfortunately it has been neglected over the years. I have been there in US. One of the schools they are practicing Gayatri mantra every day. Every day in assembly they render Gayatri mantra. I was in Dubai. Dubai also there is a special period that's called value education. Do we have value education in our schools? Some schools are there, no doubt. But value education is very, very important because once values are being practiced, they do well in every field, I can assure you. My school is the #1 school in value education. Recently, the 13th Vice President of India, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu garu visited our school and appreciated for the values we are inculcating in the young minds. One more thing, that's recent times, as some of the governments have recognized the importance of social emotional learning, they have introduced as a curriculum. For example, the Delhi government has introduced happiness curriculum in their education right from nursery to 8th grade. It is being practiced by 5 lakh students and they have shown wonderful results. Delhi government. One more, Jharkhand government also introduced as the social emotional skills as a part of the curriculum. Not as separately, but they have integrated among the subjects, literature, mathematics, science and social science. In social, they are inculcating this social emotional skills through the culture. In science, they are inculcating the creativity and also problem solving. In the literature, they are inculcating this through role models and practice and character-based enacts they are making the assemblies. So what I say is, we have to take the responsibility being teachers. Children are like a clay balls. Whatever impressions is being made on them first 7 years, that will remain forever. And please make them to develop the positive attitude so that they will be happy, they are ready to learn, and they do very well in the school and beyond.
Yeah, please complete. Time is up.
So with these few words, I will conclude my speech saying that social emotional learning is equally important along with the academics. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And madam, you would like to say something?
Coming to this, I have only one view that it's a joint responsibility as a school, as teacher, management, as well as with the parents. It's nothing that only a teacher can work. It's nothing that only a parent can work. First, a child should know that yes, I have people to whom I can go and I can open up and I can talk. That is what is lacking nowadays. Because parents are busy in their world. Teachers, they come, they do their job because they are mostly focused with the academics to be completed on time and they leave. If we spend some time with the students to talk to them, then I don't think that we will be having some sort of behavior issues or late speech therapies are required, because all this is now what we have started. Previously, we didn't have late speech therapies and all. Why we didn't have? Because we were in a nuclear family. We were in joint families. Yes, COVID time, because parents, it was work from home. So parents used to be on laptop, they were working from home. So they wanted students to settle down, so they have given them a YouTube. Except the mother tongue, the child is able to talk all other languages. And nowadays, even as a parent, we want a child to be a very good communicator, maybe in English, but not in my mother tongue, in Hindi or Telugu. And later on, we sit down and we tell that my child does not even know how to write Vanmala in Telugu or Hindi. Because as an academic director, when I sit down with the parents, that's the main concern they have. And when you ask parents that your mother tongue is Telugu, right? Then why don't you teach? Ma'am, I don't have time, ma'am. I am not able to tell them, ma'am. They don't listen to us, ma'am. Why? Then where is the child comfortable with? So with this, I would conclude that it's a joint responsibility of both school as well as the parents. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. And it is a well-known fact that whether anybody agrees or not, it is not the school's responsibility alone. Meaningful responsibility must be created both at home as well as the school. Because child spends a lot of time at home. Only few hours they spend in the school. So these few hours must be utilized properly, and the time that the child stays at home also must be responsibly, meaningfully, they have to be engaged. And that is how we can integrate this SEL program even without going into the curriculum also. Thank you very much, all the panelists, for giving this opportunity, and thank you, the listeners, for listening very patiently. Thanks a lot.
For your valuable presence. Thank you. John Vesly, sir, founder, director, Hebron Mission School, Ichapuram. Thanks for joining us, sir. Srimati Rajini Chitra, ma'am, Director, Academics, the Intelli School, Vizag, Pollocks School, Visakhapatnam. Thank you so much, ma'am. Mohammad Omer, sir, Chairman, New Era International School, Hyderabad. Reddy, Gopal, Reddy, State Advisor, Chairman, Lotus Lab Public Schools, Hyderabad. P. Chandrasekhar Rao garu, Director. Thanks for joining us, sir. Thank you, ma'am.